Welcome back to This Week in Gaming, the show where I recap all of the gaming news that I covered in this last week, in case you missed it. Let's talk about it. Starting with Capcom facing backlash after trying to make the very first pay-per-view esport event. Street Fighter tournaments have been around basically as long as Street Fighter's been around. Well, Capcom announced that their next tournament was going to be pay-per-view only, and you would have to pay $40 to be able to live stream this when it used to be free. Well, all the fans and the competitors called out Capcom, and Capcom is now walking it back, saying they're going to reevaluate and see how they can adjust the price to make it more comfortable for fans. Then IGN was the only company to give Battlefield 6 a 5 out of 10. Battlefield 6 is out now, and the reviews are coming in, and they're giving it about an 8.4. IGN, on the other hand, gave it a 5 out of 10 because they decided to review it based on single player mode, ignoring the online mode, which is really the only reason people play this game. Then rumors came out that Xbox is going to abandon next generation consoles. Insiders have been leaking information about Xbox left, right, and center, and one of the latest leaks says that Xbox has their next generation console up in the air and nobody knows what's happening. But Xbox did make a statement saying, just look at what we announced, that the AMD chip is being made specifically for this next generation console, so you don't have to worry. And expanding on that, recently there was even a leak showing the hardware that is supposed to be associated with the next generation, and it's supposed to be fairly powerful. Then an ex-Halo Studios dev calls out Microsoft for their toxic leadership. Glenn Israel, who was a developer that worked for Xbox for the last 17 years, no longer works there, and he made a statement on LinkedIn that has people worried. In this statement, Israel tells young developers to be weary of any big promises that they're given and that they shouldn't believe it, and if it goes against their moral fibers, they should stand up against it. But the most alarming thing that they said was that people should gather evidence when needed. Then Discord had a data breach. Discord emailed their users saying that there was a data breach and that a few people had been affected by having their pictures leaked out. Because now it seems that it was over 70,000 people that didn't just have pictures taken, but had their full IDs stolen. And this made everybody wonder about UK's Online Safety Act because it forces companies to demand IDs from people. And an update, there is a lawsuit now happening in California against Discord because of this. And then Nintendo is demanding $4.5 million from a Redditor. And there were two Redditors who got in the crosshairs of Nintendo and got sued back in 2024. And in a genius move, one of them admitted that they were doing what they were doing, but then they just didn't show up to court. So obviously Nintendo won just by default. But it looks like Nintendo hasn't received a cent because now they've submitted a filing with the Washington courts demanding $4.5 million. Then lastly, Nintendo posted a video on YouTube and on its Nintendo Today app, which left people confused. The video shows a baby with its mother and things floating around, and people were wondering what it was about, and they had suspicions that it had to do with Pikmin. Afterwards, Nintendo updated the Nintendo Today version of the video where it did show the Pikmin, but Nintendo didn't explain what it was about, so it left people wondering if it was a new game or a new re-release or if it was going to be some new event that we hadn't heard of. But there is an update because Nintendo finally clarified what the video was about. It turns out it's not about a video game. It's just them showing off what their new video studio can do. You know, the ones that made the Super Mario movie. And that was everything that I covered this week in gaming. And if you want to find out more in-depth information about what I just talked about, check the videos out over the last week because I go into more details. And if you want to find out more about gaming news, fun facts, and gaming history, make sure you hit that follow button. And I'll see you next time.